You want peace? Get comfortable with the word no. Over the last few days, I've seen several posts from people asking for advice. In essence, they wanted to know how to handle someone else's no, or how to get someone else to accept their no. In all of those circumstances, there was one reoccurring theme. The person being told no wanted an explanation. The person saying no provided said explanation. I learned a long time ago that the only people you actually owe an explanation to regarding your no are the people who you have a responsibility for or to. And they aren't just going to be impacted by your decision, but your decision requires their participation, action, or investment on their part for which they should be a collaborator. E.g., you're married with children and your spouse decides that they're going to take a job in another state and you decide you are not going. Your children deserve an explanation for your no so they can decide whether they're going to stay or go. Your spouse is considering making a major financial investment using shared funds and you don't want to do it. He or she deserves to understand your reason for no. But that does not pertain to decisions that you make about aspects of your life for which you are the main person who has to live with those consequences. When you're making decisions that impact your joy, your peace, your mental health, your physical well-being, or the use of your resources, including but not limited to your time, your talents, your skills, your body, emotional bandwidth, or finances. You no longer want to be in that relationship. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't want to attend the gathering. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't want to give or loan your money. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't want to do that favor. Call or be called. Visit or be visited. You don't owe anyone an explanation. And conversely, they don't owe you one. If their answer is no to the same request from you, because no is a complete sentence. And I get it. People think that it's rude. But for the most part, it just challenges their ego. People feel like they are owed and deserving an explanation when they don't get what they want. They believe they have right to access you and your resources, usually because they're your parent, your child, your partner, your friend, your employer. But the truth is that no one has a right to complete and total unferreted access to you. In return, you don't have the right to that level of access to anyone else either. Emotionally healthy and mature individuals are comfortable with the word no. They're comfortable saying it and they're comfortable hearing it. While hearing it may not be your preference, emotionally healthy and mature individuals respect the rights of others and their own to say no without explanation. And while you might desire an explanation, you might be interested in what the explanation is, your respect for the other individual will outweigh your curiosity. People have the right to turn down your birthday party invitation. They also have the right to not invite you. And both of those things can occur without an explanation. How you react or respond to not receiving an explanation is all on you and completely and solely based on who you are. It has nothing to do with the other person. And your response isn't their problem. This is not about caring about someone else's feelings or trying to prevent someone from being mad at you. Because those aren't things that you control. How people feel is their business, and how they feel about you is their business. And if those feelings are your primary concern, then you're not going to tell them no in the first place. So you got to be willing to say no and stand on it. You got to be willing to hear no and respect it. And hearing no shouldn't change how you operate in that relationship. If it does, then you don't respect them or the relationship. So let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Why would you say no and not provide an explanation? Because you don't have to validate your no. Because other than a child who's trying to understand how and why you make decisions that impact them, most people only want to know your why so that they can invalidate it, so that they can defend their position against yours, so that they can change your mind, so that they can share your no and your reason with others and become the victim in the story and build an army against your position, usually with the hopes of changing your mind or making you somehow look like the bad guy for exercising your right to choose one of the two possible options in a response to any closed-ended question. A question where the response can be yes or no is closed-ended. That means that any additional information other than yes or no is optional. And you or they have the right to choose the option that includes just answering the question. Personally, I'd rather you be mad because I didn't give you an explanation than to have to go back and forth with you and the other 20 people you've involved about the validity and legitimacy of my reason for making a decision that was only mine to make. And when I'm the one asking the question, I'm already prepared for the fact that no could very well be the answer. And since I prefer to live in peace, I'm already prepared to accept your no.